Learning objectives. In this chapter, the user would learn the following in details. Internet tools of networking, modern software tools for business communication, Web 2.0 tools, innovation and techno life in the next decade, legal issues and electronic business communications. Introduction. Communication has seen drastic changes in last century. The advancement in science and technology has affected the way people communicated with each other on this globe. The change has been felt moreover in business communication. One of the reasons of effect of technology in business communication has been the phenomenon of globalization. This unit provides a glimpse of how Internet has become a mandate in all organizations and how it has eased communication. We shall also learn about the trending tools for networking. This chapter also deals with the upcoming techno innovations that are bound to change our life in the next decade. Innovation and techno life in the next decade. Geoengineering. The idea of engineering the climate on a global scale has been around for a while. But as the penny has dropped that we may be unable or unwilling to curb carbon dioxide emissions sufficiently to manage global warming, geoengineering has risen up the political agenda. My guess is that the next decade will see the debate over geoengineering intensify. Research will lead to increasingly plausible and economically feasible ways to tinker with the environment. At the same time, political and social pressure will grow, both to put plans into action, whether multi or unilaterally, and to limit the use of geoengineering. The big question is whether globally coordinated efforts to develop and use the technology in a socially and politically responsible way emerge, or whether we end up with an ugly and potentially disastrous free for all. Smart grids. It may not be that apparent to the average consumer, but the way that electricity is generated, stored and transmitted is under immense strain. As demand for electrical power grows, a radical rethink of the power grid is needed if we are to get electricity to where it is needed when it is needed. And the solution most likely to emerge as the way forward over the next 10 years is the smart grid. Smart grids connect producers of electricity to users through an interconnected intelligent network. They allow centralized power stations to be augmented with and even replaced by distributed sources such as small-scale wind farms and domestic solar panels. They route power from where there is excess being generated to where there is excess demand, and they allow individuals to become providers as well as customers, feeding power into the grid from home-installed generators while drawing from the grid while they can't meet their own demands. The result is a vastly more efficient, responsive and resilient way of generating and supplying electricity. As energy demands and limits on greenhouse gas emissions hit conventional electricity grids over the next decade, expect to see smart grids get increasing attention. Artificially intelligent personal assistants. I've been impatiently waiting for this one for quite some time now. Microsoft got the ball rolling on this concept with Clippy, the office assistant that proved to be more annoying than useful. More recently, Apple developed Siri for its iPhone, an intelligent assistant that can respond to specific language cues and assess the internet. But this is nothing compared to what will be available 2 decades from now. Looking ahead, we can expect our personal assistants to fully respond to natural language, including colloquialisms and our personal idiosyncrasies, and owing to ubiquitous computing, which we'll look at next, Our personal assistants will be accessible to us 24/7. Computers are everywhere but unseen. As noted, ubiquitous computing, also known as pervasive computing and everywhere, is coming. Already today we have computers in our cars, our phones, our toys, and even our fridges. But they're still very obvious. We often have to hold them or use keyboards to input information into them. These devices, however, are getting steadily smaller owing to the miniaturization revolution that's in full swing. Virtual animals with digital minds. Whole brain emulations of human minds are quite a ways off and likely won't appear until the second half of the 21st century. But in the stage leading up to this, we'll be able to emulate the brains of much simpler organisms. Already today there's the Open Worm project, an effort to digitize the brain of a nematode worm, the first sanctioned mega-scale geoengineering project. The effects of climate change are getting increasingly hard to ignore, whether they manifest as superstorms, historically low levels of sea ice, rampant wildfires, or record temperatures. Whether we like it or not, we will embark on geoengineering projects in the near future, and indeed, the conversations have already started. Internet tools of networking. A social networking website is an online platform that allows users to create a public profile and interact with other users on the website. Social networking websites usually have a new user input, a list of people with whom they share a connection, and then allow the people on the list to confirm or deny the connection. After connections are established, the new user can search the networks of his connections to make more connections. A social networking site may also be known as a social website or a social networking website. Social networking sites have different rules for establishing connections, but they often allow users to view the connections of a confirmed connection and even suggest further connections based on a person's established network. Some social networking websites like LinkedIn are used for establishing professional connections, while sites like Facebook straddle the line between private and professional. There are also many networks that are built for a specific user base, such as cultural or political groups within a given area or even traders in financial markets. Social networking websites are easy to confuse with social media sites. A social networking site is any site that has a public or semi-public profile page, including dating sites, fan sites, and so on. A social media site has profiles and connections combined with the tools to easily share online content of all types. Internet tools of networking. 1. Nexology. A successful social media strategy is built on quality content. To help you figure out what kind of social media content to plan for your followers, start with a question. What interests my social media audience? If your brand has thousands of followers across several Twitter accounts, gauging their areas of interest could be tricky. Nexology is a good social media tool to jumpstart your search. This app analyzes your social media audience most talked about topics. You can choose to view the results in form of a list of 10 top hashtags in your Twitter network or a tag cloud that demonstrates connections between topics. The tool also helps you learn more about your network, including a ranking of most engaged, most retweeted, and most active users. 2. Rank speed. Rank speed can also be used to discover relevant topics in your network. However, It uses a different method to sort the topics. It filters your brand's social media feed by sentiment, which can be neutral, positive, or negative. You can also track all mentions of your brand on social media and analyze the sentiment behind the posts to see which ones resonate with the audience and how. Just remember, even negative comments deserve a response. 3. Hootsuite Syndicator. Time is of the essence for social media managers, and having a source of diverse, interesting content to engage your social media followers is crucial. Undoubtedly, there are many web resources that contain information you frequently share with your audience. Instead of growing that list of bookmarks in your browser, set up an RSS feed to get instant updates from your favorite publishers. You can streamline the process further by setting up an RSS reader to deliver content directly to your social media management client. If you are using Hootsuite, the Hootsuite Syndicator is a robust feature that provides rich filtering, monitoring, and tracking social media tools. Added bonus: the Hootsuite Syndicator helps track which stories you have shared in the past to avoid repeats. 4. Bulk Scheduler. As we already established, a great selection of engaging content is half of a successful social media strategy. Now that you have something to share with your audience, you have to figure out the best times to do so. In order to save yourself time and stress, it's good to plan for the week ahead, especially on a Monday. Hootsuite's Bulk Scheduler feature allows you to upload spreadsheets with up to 350 messages for your social media networks. If you are too busy to work on a spreadsheet, the Hootsuite's Hoot Bulk tool makes the process even easier. All you have to do is fill out the appropriate forms for date, time, and message. TWTR Land. After you have found and scheduled a week's worth of interesting social media managing, the next step is increasing the reach of your posts. The best way to do this is by figuring out your brand's influencers or users in your network with the highest activity, communicative activity, and popularity rates. TWTR Land helps you find highest ranking Twitter users in each of the 3 categories and make suggestions for improvements on your own Twitter profile. You can also search influencers by skill. For example, you can search for influencers in social media management by combining social media management, SEO, and digital marketing categories. Legal issues and electronic business communications. Innovative technological advancements over the last few decades have increased the methods by which companies can communicate and transact business. In particular, these technological innovations have provided companies with opportunities to improve their profitability, efficiency, speed, competitiveness, and customer relations. Cody 400. Much of this new business activity falls under the heading of e-commerce or electronic commerce, whereby companies transact business electronically rather than the more traditional face-to-face meetings or written document exchanges. At their base, however, business transactions remain essentially the same. One entity contracts with another for the provision of a product or service. However, the methods by which many of these contracts occur today have required the adaptation of existing laws and the development of new laws to ensure the continued protection of commercial actors. This paper explores these legal adaptations and developments. The increase in electronic business transactions. Electronic business communications and transactions have become, in many arenas, the preferred way of transacting business today. electronic transactions become more and more commonplace, legal institutions around the world have struggled with the inability of existing laws to deal adequately with issues presented by new technology. Business actors need guidance to know how to fashion binding and enforceable contracts when established legal rules, such as the mailbox rule, no longer seem to apply. Business actors also need guidance on how best to protect other interests, such as the confidentiality of their proprietary information, particularly given the growth of large-scale virtual enterprises, where businesses must often release such information to potential competitors. Today, many companies often form virtual enterprises to execute large-scale engineering, construction, manufacturing, and other projects. Essentially, these enterprises are electronically communicated networks of organizations formed to execute particular responsibilities. These enterprises might be for the short or long term, but in either case, the legal status of the electronic business communications must be clarified if each organization's duties, responsibilities, and liabilities are to be effectively communicated and enforced. Advances in information and communication technologies have led to and continue to support these enterprises. However, many legal issues remain surrounding the enforceability of online contracts and the electronic exchange of information. The technological basis of e-commerce is basically web client or server middleware, or what is called three-tier architectures. The client tier is the web browser involving some type of form processing. The middle tier is the web server, often with transaction processing. The web server in turn links to the third tier, a database processing the order information. Some of the issues are strictly internet related, such as domain names and trademarks, linking and framing, clickware and shrinkware, and meta tag use. Others are traditional issues applied to the internet, such as copyright, contracts, consumer protection, privacy, taxation, regulated industries, and jurisdiction. E-commerce site development, its advertising, electronic transaction, money transactions, and such involve many legal issues which need to be taken into account step by step. Before developing an e-commerce site, a registered domain and a registered trademark should be established. There must be some copyright protection on the site. The business must ensure that it displays the terms and conditions or policies within its site. Security involving the privacy of a user's data is always one of the main concerns while doing business online. Defining rules and regulations for the advertisement of the site by placing banners on other known sites is another. It is of great value when dealing with such complex issues to consult an attorney who specializes in the issues of cyberspace. Modern software tools for business communication. Communication has seen drastic changes in last century. The advancement in science and technology has affected the way people communicated with each other on this globe. The change has been felt moreover in business communication. One of the reasons of effect of technology on business communication has been the phenomenon of globalization. In past 2 decades, the world has shrunk into a global village. The immeasurable flat world of pre-Galilean era has become flat world again. In Thomas Friedman's The World is Flat, but this time it is no longer immeasurable. This new flat world has become small because of modern tools of communication. The laissez-faire has helped in dissolving borders and making global borderless in its true sense. This phenomenon is felt, if not in all spheres of life, at least in international business. The global economic policies and information and communication technology have given facelift to the 21st century business communication tools. The effect of global economic policies has opened up floodgates for foreign companies to trade with any country on the globe. This was not possible if advancement in technology did not support its communication links. Once upon a time, it was believed that the communication is to encode message with right signs or symbols, send it, and the receiver decodes it to understand the meaning of the message. The nearer the receiver is to the main message, the better is the communication. But now, along with it, what is more important is time element. How fast and accurately the message is sent is also very important. Thus, the role of modern technology and internet tools becomes vital in business communication. It is internet-enabled information and communication technology which has brought a revolution in modern business communication. Today, to imagine a business house without communication links like email, chat applet, VoIP, voice over internet protocol, fax, blog, e-group, smart mobile phone, not only for texting and calling but also for social networking, website, etc., is to imagine a life without blood and oxygen. These modern tools have become part and parcel of business setup. The open international economic system has made it essential for all business houses, big or small, to remain connected round the clock with the world. And without these tools, no business house can afford to win customers. Let us study these modern business communication tools in detail and see how effectively they can be used for communication. Website. Let us start with a website. A dedicated website for business is not only for marketing or sharing information about the business, but it also is a strong communication link to connect with the customers. Most business people are still ignorant of the potential power the website brings to their business. It is still underplayed, and so people have their websites, but most of them are static and archaic. It is rarely updated, and few of them care to respond to customers who are trying to contact them through websites. It is surprising to see that very few business houses are reaping the benefits of cost effectiveness of using it as communication tool. Advantages of website as business communication tool. A dedicated website can help companies in various ways. The company can maintain direct contact with the customers, giving customers a choice to select and compare the products and services. This service helps customers in saving their time, and just on a click they can compare products and decide to purchase. Opening window for e-commerce, wherein customer can buy products, services online. It helps company in saving revenue share of wholesalers, retailers, etc., and can give extra benefit to customers. It also saves them from duplication of products. Instantly solving grievances of the customers, which is very important in the competitive world. It gives winning edge to the company. For this strong feedback mechanism should be available on website. It saves time of customer and company in delayed communication for complaints and adjustments. It also helps wholesaler to solve grievances of retailers, logistics, etc., kind of stakeholders involved in chain of business cycle. Reading minds of customers. For this, space for comments by customers should be available on website, wherein customer can text some message as feedback. This would not cost any extra bucks to company, but can help them a lot in improving their products and services. The commenting can be kept under control, so it won't bother company to control unwanted and spam commenter. A separate space for employee login can serve several purposes at a time. Say for instances, management can read minds of employees from their login and reading their experiences of working with the company. This helps in times of recession and slowdown of turnovers. It also serves the purpose and advantages of grapevine communication channel. Disadvantage of website as communication tool. The website as such does not have implicitly visible disadvantages as they are developed as part of online business marketing. Yet, when such interactive websites are not managed properly, it may have following disadvantages. It should always be under the vigilance. Interactive websites should be protected from hackers. The rival companies or pawn sites keep attacking websites popular with customers. If company fails to vigil its website, it can mar the brand image of your products. There should be personnel always visually present to reply to customers' queries and grievances. As website communication is asynchronous and not synchronous like chatting, the auto mode of reply to customers' complaints, queries, comments, etc. can help, but it should be followed by personalized email from the company. Most of the time, delay in such communication forces customers to stay away from websites to communicate with company. One of the biggest disadvantages is ignorance of customers in using website for communication. So, companies should design websites which are user-friendly and the communication links are easily visible on the home page and easily accessible to the novice user of internet also. Email. Electronic mail. Email is a letter transmitted using internet technology. The transmission may be between two computers or smart mobile devices which support transmission of data through internet. The beauty of email is its speed of transmission. Now and then, email is compared with traditional mail, wherein email stands triumphantly ahead because of its speed and cost effectiveness of transmission of information. The email reaches furthest corner of the globe within millisecond. The only condition is that the said corner should be connected through internet. It does not only send text messages but also sends images, colorful graphics, audio and video messages, multimedia messages. Emailing is almost free of cost. Today, there are several email service providers like Yahoo, Google, Hotmail, Rediffmail, India Times, etc., which give unlimited space for storing incoming and outgoing mails, that too totally free to the users. Advantages of email as business communication tool. Email is fast in transmitting multimedia messages. It saves time and money as it is very economical. The communication is written and thus has more legal importance than other electronic communications. The written record of the communication is generated, which is very useful in future. It is easy to retrieve email communication for future reference. It facilitates communication with multiple parties at a time. It is most suitable for open international economic system which is characterized by changing business environment, geographically distributed work groups, extreme mobility and the need of rapid information dissemination. Email services are available on smartphones, PDAs and other such handheld devices. So, even without computer or laptop, accessing email is easy and user-friendly. Disadvantages of email. Emails, if not used over personalized web pages, are like postcards. Anybody can read it. The free email service providers do not guarantee secrecy of the messages transmitted over emails. Thus, it becomes harmful to business if such free service providers' email platform is used for business transactions. It does not create better context for communication and it does not clarify the tone of messages. It is sometimes seen as impersonal and prone to misunderstanding because verbal cues and context are missing. Managing unwanted spam mails is biggest problem. Hundreds of unwanted mails waste lots of time even in deleting them. And because of it, at times, even useful ones are deleted or left unread. The sender does not always come to know whether the mail has reached right destination or not. Even if it has reached, sender does not know if the receiver has read it or not. Blog. Web blogs or blogs are traditionally known as digital diaries to keep records of journey, routine work, or sharing information on relevant topics or used for self-expression. Just like email service providers, there are free blog service providers. Some of the popular free blog servers are www.blogger.com, www.wordpress.com, www.bigdata.com, etc. The companies have their own personalized blog or sphere, which is much protected and under control from unwanted users and hackers. The openness and transparent nature of the blog can be used effectively by business houses to provide online platform to their stakeholders, wholesaler, retailers, customers, clients, peer business groups, work groups, and employee to assess relevant, useful, and timely information. Advantages of blog as business communication tool. It is almost free to start a blog and maintain it. The startup cost and maintenance of website is not free, and at times its cost is much higher. Relatively, blog performs almost all those functions of website and its cost is negligible, almost free. It helps to disseminate information quickly, efficiently, and effectively to their clients and to other operating units of the business. It facilitates more often and direct communication channel with all stakeholders. The client feedback mechanism of blog is much stronger than email or website, and thus it helps in better understanding of clients. Thus, in longer run, blog is more effective business communication tool as compared to email or website. It helps in reduction of cost for communication with clients and other stakeholders. Disadvantages of blog as business communication tool. Blogs are good for service providers rather than product sellers, as service providers can blog FAQs, frequently asked questions, and other such service-related information. It saves their time and money in further communication with clients. The customers also get answers to their common queries from the blog. But for product seller, where 3D images and more interactivity is required, blogs fall short of high-definition websites which used flash and 3D effects to display features of products. Though blogs are more user-friendly than websites, still it requires skilled hand to make optimum out of it. Ignorance on part of clients is disadvantageous to business houses in effectively communicating with them through blogs. As with all modern tools, lack of infrastructure in remote areas is one of the most biggest obstacles in reaching out to rural market through blogs. Smart mobile phones. Mobile phones, smart as well as simple, have better penetration in the market than laptop or computer or internet technology. It is believed that the users of mobile phones are 10 times greater net users in India. The growth rate of mobile phone users is far ahead of internet users. Thus, it gives greater opportunity in using smart as well as simple mobile phones as business communication tool. All simple phones come with facility of SMS, short message service. The SMS has tremendous potential to be very effective business communication tool. The smart mobile devices have several inbuilt applications and others are downloadable. Such applications run with the help of GPRS internet connection. Thus, such GPRS-enabled mobile devices provide better business communication opportunities. Advantages of mobile phones as business communication tool. As compared to all the above discussed modern tools, an SMS can reach wider audience in almost no time, and there are far more chances of the message being read instantly than what of website, blog or email. The chances of instant feedback are also far better with SMS replies rather than email, blog or website. From marketing to spreading awareness or getting opinion from customers, none can beat SMS. However, busy person is, it surely gets time to peep into mobile device whenever it beeps for incoming SMS. The SMS ensures less spam. It is cost effective and time saving. It is helpful in market campaign, promotion of products, survey and voting. For advanced version of smartphones which are GPRS enabled, there are again immense possibilities. It helps in viewing websites, blogging and mailing. Thus, such mobile stands quite ahead of other modern tools in its utility. Disadvantages of mobile phones as business communication tool. The health hazards which are supposed to cause terrible mental and physical illness because of extensive use of mobile phones may prevent people from using it habitually. This may cause corporate house to change their customer relationship communication links which they have established through SMS and other mobile applications. The ban on unwanted SMS and mobile calls may be disadvantageous to business houses. The infrastructure for WLAN or 3G is still at primary level and it may take long time in spreading its penetration in towns and rural places. So far as SMS-based communication is concerned, it has better opportunities, but GPRS and software application-based smart devices has its limitations. The cost of devices is normally higher for common man and ignorance of using such device also pose problems for such communication channels. VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, is voice messaging technology. It is a technology that enables voice messages to be sent via the internet, often simultaneously with data in text or other forms. It is attractive to business people because it helps in making far distance international calls and transmission of voice data almost free of cost. Instant Messenger, IM, or Chat Applet. The IM or chat applets are easily downloadable applications which run with the help of Internet GPRS on computers or mobile phones. These applications help in synchronous communication with the people logged into it. Some of popular chat applets are Yahoo Messenger, Google Talk, MSN Messenger, Rediff, Skype and several others for mobile devices. As and when two people remotely situated get connected through similar chat applet via internet, they can type and send message to each other. The typed messages are displayed on each computer almost at the same time. Thus, such communication is known as synchronous, whereas emails or SMS are asynchronous communication. Web 2.0 tools. Web 2.0 technologies can be a powerful lure for an organization. Their interactivity promises to bring more employees into daily contract at lower cost. When used effectively, they also may encourage participation in projects and idea sharing, thus deepening a company's pool of knowledge. They may bring greater scope and scale to organizations as well, strengthening bonds with customers and improving communications with suppliers and outside partners. One of the most significant differences between Web 2.0 and the traditional World Wide Web (WWW) retroactively referred to as Web 1.0, is greater collaboration among Internet users, content providers, and enterprises. Originally, data was posted on websites and users simply viewed or downloaded the content. Increasingly, users have more input into the nature and scope of web content and in some cases exert real-time control over it. Elements of Web 2.0. Wikis. Websites that enable users to contribute, collaborate, and edit site content. Wikipedia is one of the oldest and best-known wiki-based sites. The increasing prevalence of software as a service, SaaS, web apps, and cloud computing rather than locally installed programs and services. Mobile computing, also known as Nomad City, the trend towards users connecting from wherever they may be. That trend is enabled by the proliferation of smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices in conjunction with readily accessible Wi-Fi networks. Mashups. Web pages or applications that integrate complementary elements from two or more sources. Social networking. The practice of expanding the number of one's business and or social contacts by making connections through individuals. Social networking sites include Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. Collaborative efforts based on the ability to reach large numbers of participants and their collective resources such as crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, and crowdsource testing. User-generated content, writing, images, audio and video content, among other possibilities made freely available online by the individuals who create it. Unified communications, UC. The integration of multiple forms of call and multimedia or cross-media message management functions controlled by an individual user for both business and social purposes. Social curation. The collaborative sharing of content organized around one or more particular themes or topics. Social content curation sites include Reddit, Dig, Pinterest, and Instagram. The history of Web 2.0. The foundational components of Web 2.0 are the advantages enabled by Ajax and other applications such as RSS and Eclipse and the user empowerment that they support. Darcy DiNucci, an information architecture consultant, coined the term Web 2.0 in her 1999 article Fragmented Future. The web we know now, which loads into a browser window, is essentially static screenfuls, is only an embryo of the web to come. The first glimmerings of Web 2.0 are beginning to appear, and we are just starting to see how that embryo might develop. The web will be understood not as screenfuls of text and graphics, but as a transport mechanism, the ether through which interactivity happens. Web 2.0 technologies. Most of the technologies used in delivering Web 2.0 are rich web technologies such as Adobe, Flash, Microsoft Silverlight, and JavaScript, in addition to Ajax, RSS, and Eclipse. Web 2.0 applications are often based on the decentralized download methodology that made BitTorrent so successful, in which each downloader of content is also a server, sharing the workload and making heavily demanded content more accessible that would be in the centralized model where demand can lead to overwhelmed servers and pages. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have covered the following in detail: Internet tools of networking, modern software tools for business communication, Web 2.0 tools, innovation and techno life in the next decade, and legal issues and electronic business communications.